How the fuck are you sweaty sack stains going today? It's the fucking Aussie Metalhead here. Thank God it's Friday at the end of another fucking week. It's gonna be a pretty short video today. I've got some music shiz going on this weekend, so gonna be doing a pretty short one today just to fill out the fucking week. So here we go. Today I'm going to be talking about three bands that I feel go egregiously underrated by the mainstream metal community. These are three bands in varying levels of success. Just out of personal preference for me, I think that these bands should be getting a shitload more attention. So that's what I'm fucking doing today. Three underrated as fuck metal bands. Necrogoblikon.
Kinda sounds like goblin metal.
These rambunctious goblin shredders are often dismissed by the mainstream metal community as being a gimmick band due to their chief mascot and hype man John Goblikon and their very campy lyrics with their very offbeat and dark sense of humour. But in looking past that, there is also a fuck ton of really raw natural talent. These guys really know how to write an engaging song. Their debut album, Goblin Island, definitely laid the foundations for their sound, but was held back, in my opinion at least, due to somewhat lackluster productions and a kind of weaker vocal production, which sort of made the entire experience a little bit muddy. But they made up for that and then some with the release of the absolutely terrific 2011 album Stench, which summarised their sound as melodic symphonic death metal, but with elements of metalcore and power metal thrown into the mix as well. Along with some very, very catchy, quirky keyboard work and the absolutely fantastic, versatile vocalist that is Nicholas Scorpion Von Doom. Following 2011's Stench, they followed up in 2014 with the album Heavy Meta that divided their fan base due to the very different approach to songwriting that they took on the album, which meant stripping back their tremolo-picked riffs and blast-beat death metal attack for slower, chuggier songs, more of a focus on downbeats, down tempos, a lot more melody, and a much stronger focus on catchy sing-along choruses. I'll say that they didn't have them before, but you can definitely tell where the emphasis was put on this album. The album follows a very fantastic concept about the stress of immortality, life, death, the record industry, and goblins, of course. I love this band for their offbeat, quirky humour, their very occasionally campy lyrics, and their very, very innovative songwriting. A lot of interesting elements thrown together in a way that I haven't really heard too many extreme metal bands focusing on in the last few years. And of course, it would go without saying the absolutely fantastic level of humour and crowd interaction that hype man John Goblikon brings to the group's live performances as well. Check out their live videos and you'll definitely see that he is more than just a gimmicky mascot. It definitely plays an integral role in how they bond in the live situation with their fans. I think that these guys get branded as a gimmick band, obviously due to their mascot, and as well as the rather cheesy lyrics that they have been known to write. I do, however, think that more people should be checking out their music, seeing what's behind the live shows, what's behind the album art and whatnot. They even have a song called We Need a Gimmick, which directly addresses a lot of the issues that people seem to have with their music. It's an absolutely fantastic song. They have just dropped a new single, Dressed as Goblins, and apparently they're going to be releasing a new album later on this year, so it is a perfect opportunity to check them out if you haven't already. They're fucking sick. Necrogoblikon. Next band we're talking about is Avatar. Fucking Sweden. They just fucking own everything, don't they? They're just fucking good at fucking everything, aren't they? Swedish melodic death metal / alt metal / groove metal / prog metal, whatever the fuck you want to call these guys. Avatar have been going on since 2001 and have released 7 studio albums, their most recent album being Avatar Country. They began as more of a standard melodic death metal band before evolving over several albums into a sound that encompassed more groove metal and alternative metal elements into their melodic death metal sound, gradually building up a stronger but still modest fan base. Their late 2000s albums, Black Waltz and Hail the Apocalypse respectively, definitely helped drive the band into their new sound. It definitely encompassed a lot more groove metal elements, and it definitely was cool to see how they were evolving into a sound that was much more their own. Much of the dynamic changes of their sound came down to frontman Johannes Ekström, who is my favourite frontman in metal at the moment. His vocal presence has definitely evolved into something very unique and very fucking powerful that has helped Avatar stand out as a very unique sounding band. It is, however, 2016's Feathers and Flesh that officially put Avatar on my top 10 favourite bands of all time. This is an extremely important album for anyone who is unfamiliar with Avatar to be checking out, as well as an album that if you are an Avatar fan and you haven't listened to it, what the fuck are you doing? Go listen to it. It is the album that I would recommend any new Avatar fan check out. It is the most diverse album they've ever released. There is so much on this fucking album that I could honestly make an entire video on it. But for now, I would just say Feathers and Flesh is a perfect starting point to get into this band. Songs like Toothpick and Claw, The House of Eternal Hunt, and the very System of a Down-ish riffage of For the Swarm definitely shows that Avatar have a lot of secrets hidden up their sleeves, and they're not afraid to throw you a few curveballs in an album. They have received modest success with albums like the aforementioned Black Waltz, Hail the Apocalypse, and Feathers and Flesh respectively. Avatar Country, I don't think was as strong an album as any of these three previous ones, but it was an interesting departure. They did something different, but not all of it worked especially well. I think a lot of what has brought Avatar more success is the development of frontman Johannes Ekström. I really hope I'm pronouncing his name right. His devilishly low growls and his high-end shrieks are absolutely fantastic, and he can transition from gutturals to clean vocals in a seamless way that doesn't feel like they're just pigeonholing the metalcore melodic death metal standard that's been going on for a long time now. It's very interesting, it's very diverse sound. I very much recommend you check out Feathers and Flesh if you're not an Avatar fan, or if you're just a casual Avatar fan. I think that this album will win you over. I'm feeling a little bit murder metal-y. I am, of course, referring to Macabre. These guys, I think that they might be the most underrated, definitely most underappreciated extreme metal band around these days. They formed all the way back in 1985, which is why it's so insane that they haven't picked up more mainstream success since then, considering how long they've been going for. They've mixed together a very interesting series of genres, from the more predictable styles of thrash metal, death metal, grindcore, etc. But also mixing together elements of folklore music and nursery rhymes in their choruses to create a very, very interesting genre of music that they hold to their own, that they have dubbed murder metal. Underneath all of the folklores and the silly, catchy fucking choruses and whatnot, they are quite a grim and very dark band. All of their lyrics and all of their concepts since the beginning of their career has fixated around serial killers, their fixations, their lives, their deaths, etc, etc. Oh yeah, and did I mention that they're a fucking three-piece? And not just that, a three-piece that have not had a single fucking lineup change since their inception in 1984-1985. Fronted by Corporate Death on lead guitar and vocals, Nefarious on bass and vocals, and Dennis the Menace on drums. It's incredible that they have maintained their lineup and continue to release albums on a semi-regular basis considering their obscurity. But underneath all of the lyrics, the campy humour, and everything else, there is some serious fucking talent in this group. These guys are really, really proficient musicians. They're extremely good at their instruments. You only really need to check out some of their live footage to really see just how fucking talented these guys are. Since their inception, they've amassed a fan-fucking-tastic discography, from albums like Gloom, Grim Reality, to Sinister Slaughter. These guys are absolutely fucking fantastic at cranking out good consecutive albums. I'd recommend them for the Dharma album alone. Yes, they wrote an entire album based on the life, death, and exploits of Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, I fucking reckon, eh? And considering how far back these guys really go historically, I'm pretty amazed that these guys aren't brought up more when we're talking about death metal's earliest years and its formation. Sure, they definitely don't fit in with the standard of a lot of the early death metal scene, but for the innovation, for the creativity, and for the consistently quality music, I'm amazed that these guys don't get brought up. This is a band that have never compromised on their sound. They could have easily become a much, much more popular band if they had stuck to more of a traditional formula, but instead chose to throw every conceivable playbook out the window and chose to build something truly unique. And that is what is great to say about Macabre, is that you can say it, whether you like them or not, these guys are very fucking unique. There isn't another extreme metal band out that's remotely like them, and as such, they get a full recommendation from me. There we have it, guys. These are 3 majorly underrated bands that I reckon you should all be checking out. It's a pretty fucking short one today, since it's going to be such a busy weekend. Going to get this out to you guys a little bit earlier this fucking week, so I hope you guys enjoy. Have a fucking good weekend. Crack a few cold ones for me. Stay sick.